So we are going to be talking about the global variables in Solidity. What are global variables? These are built-in variables made by Solidity and can be accessed from anywhere within the contract. These variables provide information about the current state of the blockchain, the current transaction, or the current contract. So let's head over to Remix. So these are a couple of global variables. These are a couple of global variables we'll be looking at. So there are currently more global variables, but these are the global variables we are going to be paying attention to. So in order for us to see what these global variables are, we are going to do a getter function. We're going to do a function. I'm going to do a display, so we can be seeing the practical aspect of what we're doing. So we're going to do a display public view returns. So we're going to do for the message of sender first. So message of sender is an address type of global variables. So the message of sender is the sender of a message, the current call. So it's going to be returning an address type, right? So we are going to do a return message dot sender. So what this message of sender basically does is that it returns the caller of this function. Anybody that calls this function is automatically the message of sender. Anybody that calls a function is the message of sender. Anybody that deploys a contract is the message of sender. Anybody that calls a constructor is a message of sender. So you can see this is the first account. Sorry, let's get rid of this. So you can see this is the first account, OX5B. So let's deploy the contract. Automatically, us deploying this contract means that we are the owner of this contract, we are the message of sender. So let's click on display. You can see this us that call this function, the account that called this function is going to be the message of sender. So it's going to return the message of sender. So let's switch to another account. So you see, click on display, you can see it automatically returned another address, which is this address. So any address that called this display function is the message to sender. So the next one is the transaction.origin. So it's also an address type. So it shares as origin is the sender of a transaction. So message of sender and cx.origin are similar. They are quite similar, but they have their differences. So I've talked about the differences in this video. You can see the link here above. So you can quickly just watch through that video to get a clear understanding of the difference between the message of sender and tx.origin. So we are going to be returning the tx.origin. So you are going to see the similarity that I talked about. So let's delete and deploy. You can see, let's call this function. You can see the account here is also the account here, the tx.origin. I say again, the account here is also the account here. So they are quite similar. The message of sender and tx.origin. So the next one is the block.timestamp. Block.timestamp is literally the time. It literally stores time in Solidity. Anyway, you see block.timestamp, just know that you're talking about time in Solidity. So we're going to change it to a uint type. You can see it's a uint type. So we are going to be returning a block.timestamp. So what this basically does is going to return the time at which this function was called. So we're going to cancel this. Then we deploy. You can see it display. We currently return the time this function was called at return the time in seconds. You can see this we currently have 7011. So let's click again. You can see 24. And see the time keeps changing, 27, 29, 30. So it counts in seconds. So let's head over to the next one, the message.value. So the message.value is the number of ways sent with the message. So for us to be able to see how this message.value is or works, we have to make this function a payable function, right? We have to make this function a payable function. So we are not going to be returning any values because we cannot make a getter function a payable function. So we are just going to do a public, then we add the payable keyword. After we add the payable keyword, then we're going to do a state variable that stores the way. We're going to do a state variable that is going to be showing us our message of value. So we're going to do a message value is in units, right? So we're doing a unit, then we do a public. We're going to do underscore message value, right? So we're going to be assigning the message value message. We're going to be assigning the message value to our message dot value. So this message of value is going to be storing the value of our iter sent with this contract, this function call. Whenever we're calling this function call, we are going to be sending iter along this function call. So this message of value is going to be storing the iter, which is the message of sender, which is the message of value that we are sending alongside this function call. So for example, now let's deploy. Okay, so you can see it's currently red because our payable function is always red. So you can see 0, we sent 0 because we have not called the function. So let's send 100 way. So we'll click on right, the function went. You can see our transaction went successfully. Let's click on the message of value. You see 100, which currently sends 100 iter. So message of value is currently the iter you sent along with a function call. So last but not the least, we are going to check our chain ID, right? We're going to check our chain ID. So what we currently need to do is we're going to revert everything we did. So because we're not going to be sending, so the blockchain is going to be the block.chain ID is going to currently return our ID, our chain ID. If you don't know what chain ID is simply, I think, is a number assigned to a blockchain. I think so. You can just literally go look it up on Google. So your display, then we return our block.chain chain block.chain ID. You can see. Okay. I think the chain ID for SBMB is 91. Think so. So we're going to deploy. So we are going to display. So you can see 1. Our chain ID is currently 1. So we have lots and lots of global variables. We have a lot of global variables. So I just went through few global variables because I don't want to be overworking your head with a lot of things. So you can literally go look it up in SoFi. Linked to the website is going to be in my description. So you can see we have block.lobfee, block.chain ID, Coinbase, block.difficulty, block.gas limits, block.number, whatever. You can see them. Message of value, message of signature, message of sender, message of the data. There are a lot of global variables. So global variables are simply easy. You can use them anywhere. You can use them anywhere at all. You just need to know what they are. Once you know what they are, you can use them anywhere. So thank you guys for watching my videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. And turn on the notification bell so that you get notified anytime a new video pops up. So thank you guys for watching.